Dad Pod.
Just a video thing as well.
Doesn't have a name.
Podcast.
Midlife crisis.
Paddy Daddy.
Midlife crisis.
DADCAST.
That's not bad, actually. Yeah.
Who knew we'd make it all the way to episode 22? Not me. Nobody that we know or are associated with whatsoever. Good afternoon, everybody.
Especially not after episode 21.
No, especially not after episode 21. Oof. Did your wife, that was the question I asked in the programme notes, did she think it was worse that you told everybody she snored on the podcast, or that you actually summoned her home from her night out drinking in town after just an hour? Because you were
no, she wasn't out drinking in town. I think I specifically said that she was at a talk that was given for mums only, which I also had a bit of an issue with, but in the context of me asking my wife to come home early, it didn't really carry much validity. She was at a talk for mums only to do with kids sleeping.
She wouldn't want to be out in there.
I mean, let's not be pointing fingers at me after what happened with him last week.
Yeah.
I still don't think my comment was that outrageous.
Well, you've tried to change your comment during the week.
I certainly did not.
You did. But, sorry, what were we asking? Did she...
Which is worst, summoning her home from a meeting, she's in town having crack, or telling everybody that she was a heavy snorer during pregnancy? She hasn't found that out yet. That
No. We've moved on from that, Jared. That's what's happened there, and we all know that.
Did you upload from the podcast last week?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Made out of
Good job sharing it on your social channels, Adrian, or Nathan. Well done.
I didn't see it anywhere.
It's on the podcast. It went out on
Tuesday night. Sack the producer.
The video went out. I didn't see the.
There is no producer.
Audio.
Yeah, well, it's right there. It's in your podcast.
You are the actual official dedicated producer, Jared. I mean, I don't know if it's. I'm concerned that 22 episodes in, this is breaking news. But
you are such a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, you haven't introduced us, Ger.
Dave, how are you?
Hello.
Adrian, how are you?
Wow.
Nathan, welcome. What's going on, lads?
I didn't need the formal introduction, but Dave was obviously feeling a bit upset.
Tell us your parenting woes this week, Dave. You can right off the bat, I think.
Well, there was more claret spilled last night.
all right.
I wasn't there for once.
Was it your parents-in-law again who?
No. There was a portion of a toe lost last night.
Oh no!
That sounded a bit sensationalist, but there was certainly a significant amount of skin was removed from the top of a toe.
What happened?
Well, as I left for work, he insisted on pegging around the garden without any shoes for some reason. So at some stage over the next 2 or 3 hours, in the midst of play, he stubbed his toe badly off the wall.
Off the wall?
Yeah, and so when I got home last night, there was 2 huge plasters just trying to seal the whole thing up. In fairness to him, he slept great last night, and he was definitely trying to milk it this morning. Like, he asked me to carry him from his bed downstairs. And so I carried him down to the hall downstairs, and I said, right, I think you can probably have to make your own way in to the kitchen. I have to go up and get your brother. And he forgot then that he had a dodgy toe and just strolled in. And he was like, I'm in agony here. No, he's a brave little devil. He's doing great. But it just goes to show, there's always the chance there's going to be blood spilled, figuratively and literally.
And it won't be your fault, which is the most important thing, which we all know. Somebody looking at the situation in its entirety could suggest that me initially allowing him run around the garden with no shoes or socks on.
They have to be allowed to run around the garden with no shoes or socks on.
Yeah, I agree.
Was there a call? Was there a hospital?
No, this was not as bad as the severed earlobe.
Can I ask the obvious question, considering this was yesterday, a Thursday, the opening day of the Masters? Was your child running around the back garden with no shoes and socks on while you were sitting inside watching some golf?
No, that wasn't the case. It was... I wasn't there in the evening time because I was at work, so this happened. I doubt there was any golf hole when this incident took place.
Okay. Adrian abandoned us there because he's got a better offer. Pat Kenny came in and said...
Well, now that he's not here, we can really discuss the big event of the week, that once again, Adrian's gone solo and has taken to representing the DADCAST on proper national airwaves.
What?
And went on the breakfast show on News Talk.
What happened?
So he went on the breakfast show on News Talk on Tuesday or Wednesday to talk about the lack of changing facilities for men.
Did they give him his customary minute and a half?
I think they gave him his customary minute and a half. In fact, I think they cut him before his customary minute and a half the first day, and he had to come back the next day again.
Only because he complained so loudly about the fact that he got no airtime.
It was the theme of episode 21, wasn't it? The main theme of episode 21. Did he bring anything new to the party that wasn't discussed last week?
Bad enough having to listen the first time.
Well, clearly, any producers of News Talk Breakfast that had listened to last week's episode, we're not going to put you in there as the...
Why?
Well, I mean, you could have thrown a similar comment out and live and...
But there was nothing wrong with my comment. I went home and I've discussed this with several women, and all of them agreed that they think the second they go into the ladies' toilets that they do not expect to see a man.
Did all of them agree that...
Yeah,
you wouldn't really know what
am I
to be going
supposed
on?
to send my 6-year-old in on her own to the women's jacks?
No, you just bring her into the men's.
No.
Why?
Because they're
there's
filthy.
willies in there.
And, well, it's not... It's actually...
And they're filthy.
They're filthy. There's queues. There's farts. There's like...
I would have thought the queues are longer.
He's a fucking cunt, isn't he? I'm like, well, you know...
That escalated.
I mean...
But sure, you're going to... I don't think men... I don't think men at major sporting events go, phew, finally I'm in the privacy of the toilets here. I can finally call someone and go.
No, fair enough. It happens in the seats.
In the bleachers.
Yeah.
It does. No, look, let's not go back over this again, but I do agree
right.
that you were in an awkward spot.
Certainly not that you were in an awkward spot, but I wouldn't agree that you're right.
Oh, wait, okay, well, you're going to bring your daughter into the men's the whole time.
Well, I'm certainly not going to bring her into the women's.
And she says she wants to go into the women's. Right? Because she's like a woman.
Well, then I'll say, when your mother's with you, you can go in there.
So you're going to try...
I think you should. I do think...
Hard ass Nathan Murphy parenting. Let's just see what this is actually like in practice.
I do think
yes,
that,
you can have that chocolate
you
football.
should take one for the team. And you should start going into the women's, and let's see how many complaints we get.
On my own.
Ger Gilroy was arrested for...
Your own experiment.
We're coming up to Easter, and generally it's like a diabetes town with the amount of chocolate they get. I end up eating it all, which still gets brought up a year later. You're mean. You had all our chocolate. I did, but it was like I was
saving you for yourself.
I am. Yeah, it didn't work out that well for me.
Yeah, you're looking out for their welfare.
Yeah.
We're one egg.
Who gets it? The grandparents. Because the grandparents are like, well, I'm buying an egg.
Yeah, that we won't get one, because I think a couple of Easters ago there must have been 4 or 5 eggs knocking around, and we have a little more. How am I going to word this? We have a little more self-discipline than maybe you did. We don't just eat it all because it's there.
Wow. What do you do with it?
Bin it.
What? What a weirdo. You see, stop trying to...
There's 4 eggs there.
Dave's trying to spin this that somehow we're the degenerates here. I was like, you're
throwing eggs.
You're the one who's got to look at the way you've gone through life, that you've got to a stage that you're throwing out Easter eggs rather than eating
Easter
them.
eggs. What is wrong with
Either
you?
bin it or eat it over a course of like 8 months.
Well, I mean, I didn't eat it all in one day. It was at least a week.
I bet you ate one of them in one day.
Because I have gone... like, it's not now... Like, I love chocolate. It's not like...
Not that much.
I've gone rummaging through the presses looking for chocolate and found Easter eggs where the chocolate has gone that kind of fadey grey.
Yeah.
And then we do have to bin it then.
I mean, I remember that happening. Not in a while.
Oh no, the worst is the worst is the week after Easter if you've been out, obviously, and you arrive home at 1 o'clock in the morning and there's like 4 half-opened Easter eggs. Like, this has never tasted as good in all my life.
And here's the thing: you've got to get rid of the evidence.
Oh, but the worst part is
you've got to get the
worst part is you wake up the next day.
So it's like, hang on, where was that? It didn't exist. It never
at about
existed.
1 o'clock, it's like, where's my Easter egg?
McIntyre looks terrified, by the way. I just think he looks terrified. He's like, what am I? Oh God, let me get out of here alive before they eat me.
Covered in chocolate and eaten alive during the DADCAST by these porkers. Anyway. What I'm saying is it'll probably take me 8 months to eat the same number of Easter eggs that you would have demolished in a week in a bit to save your children from consuming too much sugar.
Wow. Dave's always a good friend to have when you need a little bit of home truth in your life. Just call McIntyre. It's like you can offer that as a service at like $9.99 a minute. You know, maybe we just pick it. Okay.
But anyway, we do try and when the egg is open as well, the amount of chocolate given in one sitting is rationed.
Yeah,
because it's like as amazing as it tastes. And there's far worse crap you could feed to your kids, confectionery-wise.
Yeah.
It's still just
The
not
jellies.
great for them now, really, is it?
No, that's true. So, like, we try and be as sugar-free as we possibly can and all aspects of everything for the kids. It's great with the eldest, she totally understands it. The middle one will be like, she'll be kind of hoovering up the little bits of chocolate that are sprinkled anywhere. I think I've created the scarcity and the desire as opposed to just saying, you can have this, it's bad for you, you shouldn't have it. And she's like, okay, I don't want it. Now she's like, I never get this. I need sugar. She literally will go, sugar, and smile.
So is a piece of chocolate like a rare treat?
Yeah.
Like how rare?
Like, we would never give them any, but on a Friday they would probably have I don't know what they get on a Friday because I'm not there, but they bake during the week and crash as well, and there's a bit of chocolate in that, which is always a bit like...
So your kids don't get any regular little bits of sweets or chocolate at all?
I mean...
And you're calling me, like...
Yeah, well, like,
stingy.
I just don't want them to end up like me, Dave.
But, you know... Again, I have to word what I'm saying very carefully here.
The bribery side of things.
A little piece of chocolate with any degree of regularity isn't going to mean that you're, in your words, going to turn out like you. There, your words, not mine.
Well, what you're concerned about, I guess, is that they have those other traits that they're not just satisfied with the one
exactly.
little piece of chocolate.
They have addictive
They want the whole
personalities.
bar.
Yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What are you going to do?
Our kids would have a piece of chocolate pretty regularly, like not during the day. Oh, like maybe once every 2 days. And it'll be a small little Kinder bar, or with me it's usually they have to half a Kinder bar, which sounds really stingy. But like they're pegging around the place all day. Like there's no, I personally I don't have an issue with that. What I do have an issue is with kids having chocolate in their lunchbox, drinking those really sugary fruit juice drinks in their
Kids aren't
school.
allowed chocolate in their lunchbox. Are they allowed chocolate in their lunchbox?
School maybe they're not, but you could have it. You could easily slip it into their play school lunchbox.
I used to see last year when I was bringing Charlie to play school, and I thought it was literally as if the parents must have hated the teachers in the play school. One kid every morning they would stop in the shop beside the play school. I'd see them walking in, come out with a pack of Smarties, guzzling down the Smarties
In the morning,
before
on the
going
way in.
at 9:30, and set him free.
That's terrible.
The parents would buy the kid the chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you're getting into,
That is vicious.
my lad is coming home going, oh, you never get at it. Yeah.
That's so unfair on the kid.
Yeah.
Well, on to the teachers. I mean, because he'll go mental. With
Absolutely Lula.
Yeah.
Absolutely Lula.
Like it's Easter. The Easter party is in play school and Montessori today.
Yes.
And
yes, it is. That's right. I forgot.
So we were all asked
I'll
to
be late home tonight.
include treats.
There's an
So
egg.
I know the lads are going to be guzzling
no treats.
all
I totally
sorts.
forgot to send any in.
There'll be a lot of stuff consumed today. The lads will be bouncing off the walls now in the PM. But once every so often, again, that doesn't bother me. Like when I think of what we had when we were in school, we had one of those fruit juice drinks, Amigo. Is that what one of them was called? Plenty of sugar in that. Yeah. We had a bar of chocolate, whether it was a penguin
Sunny Delight.
or something.
Sunny Delight.
No, this has been before the days of Sunny D.
Yeah. Is that
and white bread sambos with loads of butter.
I think it...
Processed ham.
Oh, processed ham.
Like it was a horrendous lunch that we had every day.
It wasn't great, yeah.
Whereas their lunch now is a cereal bar and brown bread. And water. Do you know what I mean? Or a smoothie.
It's like five bits of fruit and veg. Hi lads, says Owen. I absolutely love this podcast. It gets played straight away whenever it drops, and to be honest, it's a welcome break from listening to Joe eulogizing about Ole. Has Joe got a...
Well, he can do no wrong.
I listened to episode 20 the day before I set off my honeymoon, and being our first family holiday with our 8-month-old, I was rather apprehensive about the trip, having heard all your stories, and certainly no option of business class on a TUI flight to Tenerife. With great shock, our little man, who isn't a great sleeper to date, slept for almost the entire flight.
Jackpot.
A few moments awake and then back to sleep again. Exclamation mark. I was thinking of you lads and laughing to myself saying, this is a piece of piss. Probably before I fall, lads. We realised when we arrived the little man had a temperature of 42. After a day of trying to find a GP, it turns out he had tonsillitis. Took 3 days for the antibiotics to kick in, so didn't see the sun or any beer. The world then decided to give him 3 teeth in one go. We fly home after a horrid sleep-deprived 14 days on Friday. Happy honeymoon. Never thought I'd say this, but I can't wait to get back to work for a break. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, he hit the jackpot on the way over.
But that was just because the child was sick.
Karma bit down deep.
Can you please refer to Nathan as Nathan De Gea Murphy in future, given his constant theft of pastries? Google De Gea donut theft if this makes no sense. Makes no sense to me. Do you know, like...
Was he accused of shoplifting or something?
I mean, obviously, allegedly, if he was.
Like, as in David De Gea.
David De Gea.
De Gea?
Donut thief.
Donut
Thief.
Well, I was doing the shopping with the two boys the other day and I thought of Nathan because when we got in, the first thing...
Caught shoplifting a €1.19
Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Is it Krispy Kreme or Krispy Kreme?
Cream. It's a yank.
I've never eaten a donut, so...
It wouldn't be creme.
The lads wanted to start eating the groceries before we got to the checkout. I was thinking of you, Nathan.
I did.
And you let them?
I did have...
Well, that would have involved opening packaging, and normally that doesn't bother me. Actually, I'd normally give them a banana out of the bag, or a smoothie out of the box, or a breakfast bar out of the box, because you can still scan the barcode, obviously. I was in particularly bad humour at the time, so I just said no.
I scandalised my 7-year-old. I brought her shopping for the first time, and I was a bit hungover, and so I wanted some apple juice, and I started to drink, and she's like, "You can't do that." It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Is it only okay if it's a bottle that you can put the top back on? Like, you couldn't drink a can of Coke on the way around.
Why not? As long as you can scan it.
Of course you could. You
can't
just hand it to the person at the till.
Yeah.
Turn it sideways. It spills all over the place.
David De Gea, by the way, we should clarify, said it was all a misunderstanding. Nothing really happened. Me and my cousin and a friend from Spain went to the shop. We were hungry and took the donuts. We were going to buy more things. Then I realised I didn't have my wallet, so I went out to the car to get it. Nothing more. They thought I was leaving without paying, so I tried to explain to them, but my English is still not very good. In the end, a Spanish girl arrived, and we understood each other. In the end, they ended up apologising to us.
Ah, of course they do.
There you go.
Of course they do.
Perfect misunderstanding.
Exactly.
I am finding it more difficult to get the lads around the shops without any incident. Because they are bigger. They get bored more quickly.
They run around the place.
The prospect of half a Kinder Egg in the car on the way home is no longer the incentive it once was. So shelves are now being pulled down. Labels are now being pulled off shelves. Trolleys of other people are being pulled.
Does it get to a point where you can legitimately say you can't come? You can restore the peace and tranquility of a trip to the shops on your own?
Yeah, but there has to be somewhere else to send them.
Oh, this is during the week?
Yeah,
When
like my wife's at work.
Right.
It's daddy daycare.
Right.
I could do it when they're in creche,
Yes.
but that's a waste of creche time.
Yeah.
Oh, you could...
That's time on your own anyways.
Yeah, golf, drinking coffee, watching football, a whole host of other activities.
Can you watch sport? I've been trying to watch sport. It's just it's
doesn't
impossible.
work. No, it doesn't work. Unless you've got something that's captivating their attention. But
Nothing does.
like movies, iPads, nothing holds their attention anymore. Which is a good thing, I guess, in the overall scheme of things. But when you want to sit down and watch a full match...
Until they discover Fortnite and porn, and that will captivate their attention for like 20 years.
What's your oldest lad?
4.
I give him time.
To get what? Hooked on something else?
Hooked, like, as I go back to my Pokemon
Movies.
again. They would sit there and watch Pokemon TV program for 5 hours if you let them. Back to back to back to back to back to back.
Right, well, I need
Brilliant,
something else. I need to get them addicted to something else so I can watch sport.
Gav tweets.
Hello. I leave the room for a few minutes and I come back in and inevitably Nathan is talking about Pokemon.
Sue Murphy is going to put a supercut together of you talking about Pokemon, and it's apparently 45 minutes long.
Wow. Pokemon has ruined my life.
Okay. Anyway, is it Sod's Law or Murphy's Law that will dictate that no matter how much planning is done, one of the kids gets sick or kicks up so bad that the plans get scrapped last minute? When we only had 2 kids and about to go out for a birthday meal and did the usual, get the kids to bed before leaving. However, during toothbrushing, number 1 pushed number 2, who had a toothbrush in her mouth. Number 2 fell face first, no hands to break the fall. Cue gagging and blood. Source of blood couldn't be identified. Plan scrapped. Everyone in the car on a family trip to the VHI clinic for a checkup. Hashtag stressed out.
I thought he was going to say hashtag middle class because he got to go to the VHI clinic.
Is that middle class? Everybody should be entitled to.
That does tend to happen in a smaller scale for me. It would always happen at I'd look to aim at leaving the house for school/creche at 9 a.m. to have them there for say 10 past, 11 past. The younger fella wouldn't take a dump until 8:59, and only then will I give his pants and nails sniff. Oh, here we go. It's usually an almighty dump as well, like one that's gone up the back. but he won't do it like half an hour before we leave, or 45 minutes before we leave. Is he just taking the piss out of me?
Yes.
Is he holding it in?
Their understanding of time and their ability to troll around time is it's a gift that I think it obviously loses them. It leaves them at some point. It's like a boy soprano. The voice just disappears.
It's a gift based on instinct rather than cunning, though. Like, it's just a gift that they have, but they're not actively trying to engage.
Oh no, I think they're totally and utterly like, I'm going to hold my shit until the last second.
What is the story as well about only shitting in clean nappies? Like, my kids, one of them is still in nappies. If he needs changing because like he hasn't had his nappy changed in a while, like it's full, he'll change the nappy and he'll take a dump 2 minutes later.
Happy days.
The comfort.
What's that?
The freedom, yeah.
Maybe there's a change in temperature.
We used to have a teacher when we'd be in school and we'd go, so you go into we used to jump around from different classes in secondary school rather than the teachers come to us, and we'd go into this one particular guy and he would go, class would start off and we'd go, oh, so tell us about that time you played for Galway in the 1928, or whatever it was, and you'd get at least half of the class out of him about some game that he had and how the ball hit the crossbar and split in two and there were 3 points down and he scored a golden point with the one stroke, and but you'd inevitably get a large portion. And I often think about my son in that way, that when we're hitting the hay and I'm telling him a story or singing him a couple of songs or whatever, he's like, oh, sing that one, like sing that one, I love that one.
Another story.
I'm like, you are taking the piss here, buddy. But screw it, let's go anyway.
5 songs later. Because you love the sound of your own singing voice.
It's good to be fair, yeah.
What's the go-to song?
At the minute it is Go Lassie Go.
Oh,
and
God.
you have to replace Lassie with Mama, Dada, Baby, Con, Grandmother, whatever.
So it's like, go Daddy Go. Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to give us a few bars?
He'll tell you at the start of the verse who you should put in.
It's an awful old country.
It's got kind of lullaby. The reason it's like I would sing it to Mrs. It's lullaby tones to it.
Yeah, it does. I can see why you'd go down that route.
Yeah.
Do you sing your kids to sleep?
a tower.
The lads. Would you ever shut up?
Build my love a bower on yon clear crystal mountain, and on it I will pile all the flowers of the fountain.
Wow.
No, the fountain and the mountain, the other way around.
I think when they were smaller, I used to try and sing them to
What would
sleep.
you
But
sing?
now I can't remember.
You can.
I'm struggling.
Edelweiss was the
Two little boys.
the high bit.
Would you sing Two Little Boys,
Because there were two little boys.
The Ralph Harris version. Can you tell what it is?
Now it's a struggle to get them to sit and listen to a story because they want to hop into bed
Pokemon cards.
and chat. Yeah, literally. So Pokemon cards are banned at night now from the bedroom, but they're such little fly. Like they literally have them stuck down their pants so they can bring them up to bed.
He's like doing searches now.
Pretty much,
sure, yeah?
Pretty much, yeah. So they'll have them hidden in certain places where they know their nightly routine, so that after they brush their teeth, they might have a couple left inside our room, near the door where they can, as a running path, can just.
Genius.
But they go to bed at 7:30, and then I'd go up at 9:30, and the two of them be
Wide
they're in
awake.
bunk beds, wide awake, chatting away as to what swaps they were going to do tomorrow.
When they're wide awake like that, are they absolutely dead in the mornings?
Not really. I do think the older lad needs more sleep. That it affects his mood, whereas the younger one doesn't. He seems all right. He
Everybody
seems
was
keener
awake.
to. But you see, we put them to bed together, which more kind of maybe the older one isn't tired at 7:30. Maybe actually he needs to stay up till 9 o'clock. But it's just such a pain in the ass to keep.
There's no alone time then.
I know, it's like, here's a room you can go into and sit on your own. We're just going to be in here watching grown-up TV. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Well, you can't come in. I realise that room's a bit shit and you're not allowed to use the computer on your own, and there's no screen time.
Yeah, well that's it.
So
Whereas now,
like
like,
walls. Well,
Or read.
here's a book,
But I want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. I'm not having my kids there till 9 o'clock.
oh well, that's my. If the kids are there till 9 o'clock, I'm not getting. You're not getting any.
You're not getting anything.
You're not getting anything at all. Whereas now they're going to bed at
He doesn't
7:30.
need anything.
Is that too much?
Jesus. Yeah.
Jared,
All that going.
Edelweiss was what you sang?
Edelweiss, yeah.
Yeah.
A bad high version. And then you'd be so tripped out by tiredness that you think actually this is quite good. I should record this.
You're tripping, Joe. You're tripping.
Yes, it was definitely tripping a lot.
So the baby has been what's she now? 8 months, has been sleeping pretty spectacularly for 8 months through the night from a couple of weeks in, and then last week she goes for her 8-month checkup or whatever it is, and my wife is going through what she gets fed every day and what solid she's on, and she's still on 3 or 4 bottles, and she's like, what? And she said all her mark, she's like 50% and all those things. No, 2 bottles a day. 2 bottles a day is the most you should be having. 2 bottles a day.
Whatever.
So my wife cuts back to 2 bottles a day.
Gotta sleep.
Every night, 1:30, she's awake for about an hour.
Hungry.
Well, I don't know. But I'm
back
like,
to the routine that was working.
Jesus.
The sleep is the important thing.
Just go back.
I'm looking for solidarity here.
I mean, I wouldn't have been this bag.
Lads,
I've tried that before.
but like, what does it matter as long as they're bloody sleeping?
I think she's not like this giant sumo wrestler baby. You know, she's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Weight-wise.
Is it formula or what is it?
Yeah.
God.
But I presume
my
they just
4-year-old was
have,
on bottles nearly would be close to his 4th birthday, as many as he wanted.
Yeah.
So eventually we said, okay, this has to stop. But look, as whatever works, I can't believe that you cut the amount of bottles she's having in half.
I know.
Because somebody supposedly qualified
At the last
you.
minute, and I'd say that the advice from we were definitely getting conflicting advice at various stages from different people who were supposed to be in the know, and you're like, well, that's not what they said before. Well, actually, you do it works for you, right?
The only person in the know is you.
It isn't actually going to kill them.
I presume whoever's giving you the advice has a list of, when you ring a call centre and a call centre rings you and they go, would you like to buy this life assurance? And you go, no, I'm not at that stage of life yet. And they look at the response, not at that stage of life. Okay, but you need to be forward planning. I presume that when you go, they've got here's the response, give them this line. But that doesn't work.
Well, I always think at those sort of checkups, they basically only need to worry about the lowest 1%, which is the 1% of parents who are completely out of their depth and have no idea what is going on at all. Like, that's their job, is to identify
I feel as if
those people.
I might be in that one.
99% of people go in, know their children, know if their children are healthy or if they've got problems, whereas there's 1% who are just completely deluded and I give my child 1 bottle a day. Don't know why it's always so angry. Those kind of people.
So what are you going to do?
Have several more rows about it, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
for starters.
Yeah.
The lads were saying,
But the problem is, it's one of those things that during the day we keep forgetting about almost, and then it's at like 1:30 in the morning. I'm telling you, she needs that other bottle.
You're probably hoping during the day when there's no signs of it that actually today's
going to be the day. Yeah.
Go back to their old routine.
Yeah. Perhaps.
I think we're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah, I think it's a mistake to take all that sort of advice.
If you need us to give
the letter of the
your wife a
law.
shot.
Yeah. I'll definitely do that. She'd love that.
The lads were saying,
I don't know, you need to just keep going with whatever's working.
Anybody listening?
I've no idea.
Have you had any more people come up to you?
either actual listeners or non-listeners.
People I think that are listeners. Met a lot. Did I say this when I was in Gibraltar for the Ireland game?
You did.
Met a lot of DADCAST listeners who had somehow managed to escape for the weekend.
Is your wife still listening?
I don't think so. The problem is the Twitter feed. Every Tuesday night about 10:30, something pops up. I was like,
need to
oh god damn it! I can't believe I said that.
Her Twitter handle into the Twitter feed at some point.
Or just mute the DADCAST on her account, so it's fine.
Oh, good thinking.
Yeah.
So, Easter holidays are coming up, lads. 2 weeks with no school and no creche.
We're going to Athlone for a day or two.
It is.
Oh yeah, whole family.
Yeah.
For what?
Is there anything to do? Because apparently there's a good hotel there. You were in it, were you?
Hudson Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just there a few weeks ago.
Oh, were you? Was it good?
Amazing.
Is it?
Absolutely amazing.
All right. I'd say Easter holidays will be a bit busier, but...
Good golf
Yeah, well,
course
we were
next
there
door.
during the midterm,
Long
so it
golf
was very
course.
busy.
All right, okay.
There's a kids club. They will take the kids off your hands from 6 o'clock to... Or I can't remember the exact hours. It could be 6 to 10. No, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. I think it's 4 hours for like €15, and they feed your kids. So you can sit down and have an actual dinner and discuss stuff that happens in life. The leisure centre is class. The lake is class. And there's loads of space in and around the hotel. The food is excellent. It's only an hour away. And then go to Glass and get your lunch out there. It's beautiful. A couple of lovely pubs. Excellent choice, Ger.
There you go. Is that it? That's the local.
Yeah, there's
You're in Roscommon, of course, in Athlone, so it's a lovely part of the world as well.
Deserted village just up the road, which is why we're checking out. Nice little walk called punch in the right direction.
Cool.
If you're up for that. But
That's only 2 nights though.
what more do you need?
Yeah.
So what do you can do for the rest of the
I
time?
go to Donegal. I'm on holidays for a week, taking a week off.
Okay.
So that's better. That's fine. And then there's the second week that I don't really have to worry about.
We booked the kids in for tennis camp. We're just searching this morning because we booked it in about 3 months ago. Couldn't remember how long it was. It was only a couple of hours. No, 10 to half 3.
Oh, class.
Oh, how much is what did that set you back?
But
Who cares?
60 quid. Well, firstly, exactly. When you do the diagram, what price do I put in not having my child around per hour? What will I?
60 quid for
I
what?
think it's 60 quid per week per child.
All right.
Or 70 quid. But they're members in the club, so it might be a bit dearer.
But when the kids were younger,
I mean, you were talking to me about mid VHI, middle class. Like the kids are already members of the tennis club.
what to do all day when they're like 2 and 4, as mine are? Like, how do you keep them occupied? How do you avoid
Should we
the
start a
onset of cabin
campaign to
fever?
support all these play centres that are in danger of going out of business
Yes.
because of high insurance costs?
Yes, screw that.
This is...
It's if you sue a child's play centre, you should have to go before a committee of 100 parents and
An Oireachtas committee or something like that.
No, actual parents
An actual committee.
who are like, we're taking away this community service that we provide for you in this soft play centre, and like,
But what you do is you'd go in.
we don't chip in.
If you were the person who sued the place owner, you'd just come up, you'd do your statement out, you'd go in and say, listen, this is my statement, and I have nothing else to say. I've taken legal advice. I've no more. I know what this is it.
Well, there was somebody on one of the
You can
news
always
talk
turn
shows.
down your legal advice.
Well, that's true.
That's a good point.
There was a proprietor of one of these soft play centres on one of the news talk shows last week saying, from their insurance point of view, they have to pay out the first 125 grand worth of claims themselves.
Woof.
Ah, yes, that's
So,
excess. That's too
and
much.
then on top of that, in their 15 years or whatever it was in business, they have never won a case. Ever.
Right.
Every single case that has ever been taken against them, they've paid out.
Is it a particularly bad
Because they
case?
generally don't go to court. That their insurance group, they just advise.
The insurance company doesn't care because they're not paying the first 125 grand.
Yeah.
Why can't they just put a disclaimer together, and any parent who wants to bring their kid in there has to sign?
Presumably you do. A lot of these places you do sign your kids in, don't you?
I don't remember. I don't know, is that a disclaimer?
Well,
though?
say for I could definitely a couple of them when we go tonight. There's no signing of anything.
Right.
But
I thought we go to the same one in
in Clare Hall,
yeah.
yeah, and like we love that place. Funky Monkeys, give it a shout out. It's a great spot. Lads love it. But so you never have to sign anything going in there. But like, don't places like
Have you
Funky
ever had
Monkeys?
to go up to get them? There's like a lot of gyrating around the stairs.
Yeah.
And they're like, is it acceptable for me to go down the slide to get back down
I've
quickly?
done that loads of times. And then you see the kids going down, and the Funky Monkeys in Dundrum, and the kids, some sharp kids at a certain point or another will figure out that they can take some of the little bikes up to the top of the slide and come down. And like, they can do that several times, and nobody's saying boo to them.
The staff member seen Nathan come down for the slide for the 5th time in 10 minutes. Oh, did you get your kids?
Like one of those trained monkeys in the circus.
They're in tennis camp.
All right.
The kids are in Plus, parents don't have to pay really, because like you just say, you go up to the door, the electronic door. Oh yeah, my kids are already in there. Oh yeah, no, sorry. Here you go. 2 hours of free play.
There's one place that I won't mention the name of it, but that it's like interactive place for kids that you bring them into. Like not I just can't mention the name of it, but
Why?
Because
you're about to say something
it's
negative.
outrageous that they charge the parents to go into this fucking place.
Oh, yeah.
How are they charging the parents? There's literally no value in there for me whatsoever. Like, I'm bringing my kid in there to distract them with the various things that they have on display.
Yeah.
Why am I paying to go in there? And it's not like a
Make
fiver.
money.
It's like 12 quid for an adult.
You're really paying for the kid.
So then just charge the kid that price and stop fucking paying me. Like, the kid is €40. Okay, great. Like, you pay 40 quid.
There goes our sponsorship from...
Oh, we haven't mentioned any names.
Well, we know.
Well, I think we all know what you're talking about.
Is it the only place that
Only we can
charges-
imagine.
No, I think there's other places that charge parents.
Yeah, there is. It's like going to...
It's like going to the zoo.
It's like going to the zoo.
No, but you get
It's
something
an
out of the zoo.
educational facility
I know
as
we should go
well.
to the zoo to begin with, but I mean, apart from that, at least you're getting something out of it.
Sorry, here is something, right? So my 2-year-old just turned 3 and is obsessed with animals, loves animals, and keeps now going, why do we eat animals? Why do we eat animals? I'm like, well, we don't eat all animals. We don't eat wild animals.
Jesus, they're tasty.
We don't eat wild animals. Like, yeah. But we eat cows. We do. We do eat cows. And we eat pigs. We do eat pigs, but not all pigs.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of lovely pigs.
Like, at some point I don't really have an answer for this.
Does she want to become a vegetarian? Like, is that the...
Well, it's he, and he hasn't worked it out yet. He has a choice to reject all meat.
Yeah.
Like, but he likes his meat.
Okay.
He's like,
Well, he's just asking the question, why?
But he's also not
it's
thinking...
a good question. I don't have an answer for it.
He's not thinking, oh, here's Percy Pig in the plate, though. That's the thing. But most of us don't. Most of us aren't going...
He's making that connection right now.
Right.
But did you tell him that animals eat other animals as well? Like, that might just give him something else to think about.
Who does the pig eat, though, really? I mean, a pig would eat a human being.
worms or
He happens to be at the bottom of the food chain.
Ants, worms, whatever's...
Yeah.
Rats.
Grubs.
Pigs would eat rats.
There's a great nature program on Netflix at the moment. Get them to tune into that.
Which one?
It says, what's it called? Our Planet or One Planet?
Yeah, it was actually recommended to me during the week. Hopefully it's a bit less gruesome than what the lads want to watch at the moment, which is all T-Rex, Megalodon and Anaconda related. Pretty much some animal has devoured another animal.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to watch.
Do you ever find yourself in the middle of those going, oh, shite, I wasn't expecting this. I get that rather with those T-Rex.
He's also a psychopath because he has no empathy yet for other people in the family. And I was talking to my wife about this, and she was like, yeah, the girls are the same at that age. They really didn't care about anything except themselves. Like, they would inflict pain and go, oh, that's interesting. And then they would inflict the pain again and go, oh, that's still interesting. And they would do it again. Oh, I kind of enjoy this. As opposed to like a little bit later on, like, I'm sorry for hurting you. Your man will jump on our necks and wrestle them and then be like, that's really sore, that's sore. And do it again. You're like, and then he's like, I'm really sorry. Faking it. Like, complete fake.
Yeah.
Like, but now the animals is like...
Can I just note that you said, I talked to my wife and she said the girls were also like that.
Yeah.
I had totally forgotten that. I had no idea what was going on.
I mean, I totally forgot.
Sure, who remembers what their kids were at any stage of their lives?
Have you not forgotten that?
100%.
Do you remember any of like the first couple of years when
I
you're
totally misremember.
sleep deprived? And
No, I'd be saying, oh, this is ridiculous. She's up in the middle of the night. Callum was he never did that. He was a total gentleman.
What are you talking about?
And she's like, what are you on about?
It is amazing because I remember when something would happen with our kids, and I'd say to my mum, like, were myself and my brother like this? Did that ever happen with us? And she would have been, I just don't know, it's so long ago. And I'd be like, what do you mean? Like,
you didn't care about us enough.
How can you not remember any of the stuff that happened when we were kids? Like, I can't remember what happened last week. So I'm of no use to anybody.
That's grand. I thought I'd done something in my college years that was... but it's
going back to haunt you.
Thanks, everybody. At Joey Jojo Jr. on Twitter says, very entertaining. Tell Adrian to take the kids for a spin in the car the next time he's left with the kids. They should fall asleep fairly quickly. Breastfeeding is great, but the man can be up against it when mommy goes, as that is missing then to soothe them. It's a good idea.
That's an excellent shot.
And then you just bring your Kindle and you pull over and lay by, read the Kindle for an hour. They get their sleep. Everyone goes home, happy days.
I just wasn't... Look, it's a brilliant shot, and I should have tried it rather than sort of pull my hair out, but everybody's screaming.
Pulling
your hair out.
Yeah.
You didn't pull your hair out. If you pulled your hair out...
You rang your wife.
No, I did. I pulled my hair out and then rang my wife.
And 3 minutes later, I was like, I'm done with this.
That's a very good shot. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to, certainly for the first one we used to do that, but it does lead to some issues eventually if you becomes... Every night we had to bring... When she was like 1.5, she wouldn't sleep, so we would drive, and it could be half an hour of driving around and around and around, listening to the same shite. And then after a while, you're like, this isn't really a good habit to get into. She can only sleep now in the car.
Yeah. And then obviously you have to take them out of the car when they get back. And you're not always guaranteed that they're going to... The baby will, but you're not always guaranteed that they'll still be asleep when you put them into their bed.
Indeed.
Right. Anything else anybody wants to get up?
We have a language issue in the house right now.
Oh, swearing.
Well,
Just tell your wife to watch your language.
Hey.
So the young lad arrived in, and he's got confused with his words. He was like laughing at something. He goes, "Ha ha! That's totally wankers." I'm like, sorry, what did you say?
Shut up, Dad, you bunker.
He's like, it's just totally wankers. And for the last couple of weeks, every second day, something is wankers.
What do you do?
I'm like, what the?
It's a good use of language. It's actually quite good.
I don't know where he got it though.
I wonder where he got it from. Yeah.
You wanker! What are you doing?
But the obvious problem and the obvious concern is that he's going into school.
Saying
repeating the same thing.
That's all wankers.
Yeah. All you guys are wankers.
I'm really struggling to rein my
My daddy is a wanker.
I'm not struggling. I'm just going for it. I was watching the Champions
just going
Cup.
for it and
I was
foul
watching
mouth.
the Champions Cup the other week, and I knew I was too deep into the game when I looked down and Colm was running around the room going, fuck's sake, fuck's sake, fuck's sake, fuck's sake. That is a true story. And there was a moment of tension in the game, but it released me from my bubble of tension.
Oh, yeah. I definitely muttered a couple of expletives last night when the golf was on.
Like, it's funny, for me now it's funny.
Shut the fuck up, I'm trying to watch the golf.
But if he was to be suddenly in company going, fuck's sake, well, that might be awkward, but also, whatever.
The homework words came back last week and they were back, sack and crack.
What are the homework words?
You get 4 sentences, put a word in a sentence.
And they choose their own words.
No, the teacher chooses the words.
The teacher gave them back, sack and crack. Oh, fair play. Fair play to that teacher.
How was sack
I think
spelled?
there's our crappy quiz intro. The teacher gave them back.
I think no. That's one of the things. Don't take that one out.
Lovely way to finish.
Is that one of the ones we should
Wrap it up,
Ger.
Delete.
Yeah.
Nathan saying it.
But all of us say it.
So, there was another one, pick, lick and flick. I think they probably got that one. The other one probably, I hope, went over their head. Maybe it didn't. Who knows? Another little pit stop on the parenting train. Is that it for this week?
I'm done.
That's it.
We're going to take next week off because I'm not here, you're not here.
Not here.
Unless you guys want to do one in absentia, which would be a good idea. Keep it going,
It's Good Friday.
You can a great day to...
Very religious and
And there's no
can't work
no
on
crash.
Good Friday.
So you can't do it anyway.
We'll do a bring the kids in.
I was just going to say, bring the kids in.
Wankers.
Fuck's sake. Back, sack and crack.
Right. We'll see you next week. You can hit us up, DADCAST at offtheball.com or at DADCASTpod on Twitter. We're also on Facebook, and I'd say somebody will check that over the next while because we've got 2 weeks probably before the next one drops. Good luck. See ya.